take home the gold. He could be too far. No, he's kicking. Oh, what a catch!
Puts a spicy forehand out in front of Naomi Morcilla.
Wu for the win. Team Canada. Garrett Wu!
Santos with the layout grab.
Oh, that fantastic grab. The claws of Chapa.
Canada just became the world champions.
Yo, Canada and the rest of the world, you're listening to a live edition of the Huckin Eh podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Theo, originally from Toronto, the greatest city on earth, now living in St. Catharines, Ontario.
And I'm Danie Proby. I'm from Nanu's, BC now. Together we are your coast-to-coast guide for all things Canadian Ultimate, and we have the band back together. I made a joke about us being in a situationship because we're an on-again, off-again relationship for Frisbee broadcasting. Theo didn't really laugh, and maybe... Oh, he laughed there. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, I'll laugh a little bit there, but good to see the band back together. Danie, you talk about, I mean, you already did, but no one heard it, so you're going to go again.
I'd love to do it again. So the Stonewall Community Foundation is what we are raising money for here at Ultiworld for the Streamathon. Again, it's 24 hours, so through the night. We got Charlie DJing. That is maybe the thing I'm most curious about, skeptically. I think it's going to be hilarious, but it's for a good cause. So the Stonewall Community Foundation is an organization that raises a lot of money and then gives grants to LGBTQ plus organizations. They've been around since 1990, based out of New York, but they work all over the States. And so they work with community organizers that are grassroots, give them the funding they need to make the great work happen. It's really important to Ultiworld. And yeah, just really thank you for your donations. There's a lot of donations already been coming in and some incentives that will be happening. Theo, can you kind of allude to like what's happening next?
Well, there's this song that I've been told that we are going to play shortly. So shout out Jeremy Ziskin and the McCalls. Danie, I've never been to Rockford, Illinois. Hey, College Nat's heading that direction, so we'll see you there. But Rockford's song, let's hear it. This has got to be AI, right?
There's a city hidden in depths of Illinois.
Listen to the whole thing.
I think we are. I think it has to be. I think it has to be the whole time. So I think we're air guitaring this whole time.
We're gonna get some more dog content.
It's kind of catchy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dog number one.
Do dog number two.
You know, the people at Ultiworld like dog cams, so.
Hey, that song kind of slaps. So I guess if you donate again, we'll have to play that Rockford song one more time. So there's a whole schedule of stuff. Danie, you mentioned that already. The DJ set. I believe Gaming with Jeff Babbitt, if you know who that is, that's coming after us, I believe. So hey, but you guys stick with us because we're gonna catch up, and then we also have the Podfather, Justin Podnar, is gonna be coming on at 3:30 Eastern, and then 4 o'clock Alyssa Mason. So 2 living legends out here gonna be on the podcast, Danie. I'm excited for both of them.
Yeah, we've had Alyssa on before, but this is Podnar's first time ever hitting up a podcast. So we want answers. We will ask questions. And for both of them, they're both iconic people in Ultimate. And I know that they're known not just in Canada, they're known kind of globally for their styles of play. And so if you do have questions for them, we will be monitoring the YouTube chat as well. So we've got questions. We kind of know what the people want to know, but maybe you have some other takes, as long as they're, it's a good question. We'll ask it.
Yeah, throw your questions in the chat if you want, even if it's for either of us. But Danie, let's we'll do a quick catch up here because there's been a lot going on. I feel like you're moving every time I talk to you, you're moving somewhere new. So where are you actually living now?
Okay, so Nanu's Bay, if you Google it, very small. Like literally, I would go to the grocery store and like the young child working at the till is like, "Hello, Shirley. Hello, Gladys." To all the people, like he knows all the names of all the people that live here. It's that small, and the little peninsula that I live on is even smaller. Maybe like 50 houses, right on the ocean. It's kind of above Nanaimo, which is on Vancouver Island, in BC. It's just stunning. It's absolutely perfect. There's whales everywhere, deer running through my yard. So I'm not in a Frisbee city anymore. And so it's a big change. For all of you that didn't know, I had a big life change where my marriage ended, and it's all good. Everyone's happy, but it did mean that I was able to kind of move away and kind of get back to my small town roots. So big changes there. A lot of my work is remote. Elevate's remote. I'm working for the VUL remote. So trying to swindle Ultiworld and giving me some cash jobs because it's not a lot to do out here in Nanoose Bay.
I've never been there, so I've only been to Surrey once. That was Nationals back in 2023, so I have not been out. I've been to Victoria once too in 2012, so all Frisbee related. But Danie, I'm not really playing the Frisbee right now. I'm actually into another sport that I think some people transition into, which is pickleball. So I played on Monday and I got beat by a 64-year-old in doubles, and it was a very humbling experience. But hey, some of those seniors, they know how to whip around the pickleball paddle out here.
Yeah, they're just dink masters. So I know pickleball's fun. I got to teach it a lot in my PE class. I played.
Yeah, you know what a dink is? Like that is like that's how I know.
She knows what the kitchen is too. So yeah, I taught it in my PE class actually, and the kids didn't want to play pickleball. They thought it was super stupid, and so I gamified everything. So if they were all on teams, and they would like pull their cards to who their opponents would be, and if they won, they could pull a chance card, and if they got a chance, sometimes it'd be like you get a superpower for the next round, or you get XYZ, and then sometimes it would be in jail. So I put 2 hockey nets like side by side in the middle of the gym, and for an entire round, I'd make a kid sit in jail while everyone else is playing pickleball around them. It's a wonder I'm not teaching anymore.
Exposing yourself on the podcast here. But let's we're gonna talk about the year. Let's do that. So we're gonna kind of just summarize some things. I guess we'll start in the college ranks because hey, Danie and I actually got to commentate together. So we're talking about the band being back together. We actually started out there, and I guess that was a long time ago in May in beautiful Burlington, Washington. Was it the Skagit River Sportsplex or something? Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, Danie, why don't you talk about your commentating experience, because you did Club Nats more recently, but your first kind of real tournament where you did PAUC, but this was like a longer time. You did D3 and D1. So why don't you talk about that experience?
Yeah, the only other commentating I did was when I was already at a tournament. Ultiworld had me come do like a one-off game, and so I didn't really like take it that. I don't want to say I didn't take it that seriously, but I wasn't like doing research and I wasn't prepped, and I just kind of show up and have fun with Theo or whoever I was working with. So college nationals was fun because I got hired. I got to be in the Ultiworld like crew the whole time, and so it was a very different experience. I got to take it more seriously. I got to commentate with my emotional support Theo quite a bit. Did I do any games with anyone else? I know we did a 3-person final for D3, which was epic. D3 also, I had not watched much D3. D3 slaps so hard. It feels like the ultimate that I learned back in the day, which is just kind of like Schmeatball. You just like huck it. It's just grimy, it's grindy, it's full heart. Sometimes like their jerseys don't necessarily perfectly match. Sometimes they're self-coached. Like it feels so much like that nostalgic grassroots, pure love of the game. The kids are just so grateful to be there. Yeah, it's an amazing atmosphere. It was arguably more exciting for me than D1, just because I've seen so many of those D1 teams before. I just learned so much for D3. Yeah, I'm obsessed. If you haven't watched D3, go watch the finals, especially. Those games are great.
Yeah, talking about Schmeatball, like the final point of that men's final was like a huge like huck for the score. Orlando Impets had also one of the best interviews I've ever done. Danie, I know you've done a few now, but
Orlando, so sparkly.
Yeah, that was honestly great. So yeah, that was awesome. And yeah, D3, I see it in the chat, the People's Division. I try not to say that on the broadcast too much because I don't want to always mention it, but I'll mention it here. It's the People's Division. Chris Casella, I commentated with him a few years ago now. I think it was 2023, and he mentioned the People's Division. So yeah, he played for Richmond, a D3 team, of course. And so yeah, People's Division, we love it. But so we had D3, and then of course D1. Some Canadian teams were there. One Canadian team reigning supreme. Danie, come on.
Sure were. It was nice to see the UBC men's team be able to be there as well. We had Ottawa also men's, and then UVic women's, and then UBC women's. Did I miss any teams? It's 2 and 2.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Well, we'll fact check. Someone will fact.
No, it is. It is.
All right,
Someone
all
will
right,
fact check
so,
us in
yeah.
there, but yeah.
Yeah, UBC and UVic on the women's side have been going kind of consistently for a while now, and the battle between UVic and UBC to get that final bid for Northwest was very intense. UBC ended up winning it, and they had some good games. They were keeping it close to half against a lot of teams, but just they didn't have as many opportunities to play against that caliber of team throughout the season. You kind of could see that. You could see that they're right there. So I'm excited to talk to Justin Podnar later to see kind of like how their team is regrouping from that, what they learned from that. Because just going to the show kind of like gets those cobwebs off. So the second time you go back, you're ready to kind of compete at a different level. But yeah, D1 was awesome. Like UBC women's came in as the number 1 seed again. So kind of their history is they always have like something kind of going on at nationals. I coached them the 2 years prior. We lost in semifinals in a pretty intense game against Colorado. And then the year after, there was like that 8-hour long round because of the lightning. Lost that game on Universe. Like there was just some like tough things that happened. That team bounced back and was like extremely mentally resilient this last year. Won their first game by breaking Carleton on Universe, and won their final game by breaking UNC on Universe, and they won their final game by breaking Carleton on Universe. So just like great resiliency. That team is mostly back. Those
Yeah,
players.
and I'm gonna selfishly say Danie and I were on the call for that UNC UBC game. So if you want to check out Danie in the booth, you can watch that game back. That was a great game to call and kind of earlier in the tournament. UNC kind of just had a bunch of hard luck at that tournament because they lost a couple of games by Universe, and their streak was over. But okay, so that's college. Next, Worlds. You were there.
U24 World.
Yeah, U24 Worlds. You were there. So let's talk
Love
about that. We'll talk U24.
All right, so U24 Worlds, again, like last cycle, we were medalless. And so it was definitely in that kind of Canadian slump where all the American media pundits were saying, is Canada washed? And we're like, maybe, I don't know. It's like, you can only really know if you're washed or not when you go to these Worlds events. So you're like, maybe we're washed. We didn't believe that. I felt really confident about how my mixed team had played that cycle. For those of you that don't know, we have like a preference-based system in Canada. So when you apply for the national team, you say what your preference is. And if that coach of that team wants you, you go to that team. And so it's kind of like, that's how it got built out. So a couple of cycles ago, most of the athletes went women's and opens. And so most of the players that were on the mixed team either didn't make it or whatever. This last cycle was a bit more balanced. So there's actually more players that picked mixed as their preference, which was exciting to me because I was coaching the mixed team. So I'll talk a bit about the mixed team, and then you can follow up with open and women's. But mixed, we ended up making it to finals, and I was more confident in this team than I had been in any other Team Canada team that I'd coached. Going into that final, we had played the USA in 2 friendlies leading into it, and they took us in the first game, we took them in the second game. And so we felt pretty confident about our chances, but it's just, we don't get that many opportunities to play these stadium games in Canada. And something seems to always spook us. I don't know what it is, but I know most of my athletes would probably say that they felt like they left something out on the table. But it was exciting to be in the final, but I'm sick of being just happy to be there. Like I said this in my speech during tryouts that I'm sick of silvers and bronzes. I want to get a gold, and I want athletes that want gold too. So we're getting there. We'll talk about this later. World Games is pretty darn close.
Yeah. Building up to it is what they say. The open team came third. A great game against Italy. They fell 15-10 in the semis to the US. Belgium just seems to have the number too, because Belgium defeated Canada in power pools there. Belgium obviously has a lot of hype right now, so I know any European fans watching, I know we'll give some love to Belgium. And then the women's team, if you remember, controversial call, I'm going to say it, against Japan. Didn't you remember this? Like the catch on the pole, is that right? Like that?
Yeah.
That's going to haunt people.
those things are so tough. And like we even saw that at Beach this year with like the USA France women's game where those types of things, when they happen earlier in the game, like they don't haunt you. But when they happen in like universe points and things that are kind of where the moment really, really matters and things don't really necessarily go the way you feel like justice would allow for it to go, or maybe an observer. We're getting something in the chat. A lot of controversial calls. Hey, we're talking about a controversial call, not from a Canadian. Okay, so we'll get to that.
Hey, it was a Japanese player, I swear.
It was. And this is the difference between having advisors versus having observers. And I personally am a fan of giving a bit more decision-making power to observers. I know like some people are kind of like a little bit all over the place with how they feel about that. But I think in that circumstance, and I've seen calls go the unjust way so many times. And I know there's arguments to say that, yeah, observers make wrong calls too, but at least they're unbiased. And then you can be mad at the observer and you're not going to be mad at Japan. You're not going to be mad at Canada or whatever, because somebody else has made that decision for you. And I'm actually a fan of that. It takes a lot of pressure off of these young athletes in these moments. So that's as an aside. So yeah, controversial call. Yeah.
Controversial call, but hey, Canada had another shot because they were in the bronze medal game, unfortunately coming up short against GB. I think that was a big deal I remember listening to the broadcast. That was like a very like monumental thing for GB, if I'm not mistaken, Danie, because I think they had a medal in a while or something. I can't remember exactly, but
the difference between like the reason this path went the way it did, because Canada played Japan in their game and like was feeling feelings. It was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was tough. You could see it on their faces. Losing like that, it's hard to shake that off. And I want to shout out the coaching team for like as much as they probably did to try to get that team back in the mental headspace to play a team that they crushed earlier in the tournament. That is really, really hard mentally to not only like deal with the loss in the way that loss happened, but then have to regroup to play a team you've already beaten and by a significant margin. So you're not getting hyped up for that game. You think it's probably going to be an easy cakewalk. On the flip side, GB actually had a great game against the US. They played really well. I saw them in the locker room afterwards, and they were hyped up. They were all vibes. So that like the dichotomy and like the contradiction between the two energies going to that game, I'm surprised, but I'm less surprised than I should have been that the outcome went the way it did. Canada is like a stronger team on paper, 100%. Oh, sorry, Monica, I see you in the chat.
Not biased. We're not biased. All right, we're gonna. Do you want to go? Well, this kind of happened around the same time. Do you want to go World Games or do you want to go CUC? What do you want to talk about first?
Let's go World Games because then we'll do CUC's club nats. But we've got 10 minutes. I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, hey, yeah, we got it. Okay, so World Games. What are your thoughts on? I mean, very close, so close. People in the chat. I remember that morning. I got up very early to watch it. They believed that Canada could do it. I could see it in the chat. There was evidence early with the way the D line was going, but then the US pulls it out. Tough.
Yeah, I think it's funny when even the Americans are voting, like not voting, but like rooting against like someone else winning. And I get it. Like it's exciting to like not always have the same team win. And I think Canada had become a bit of a sweetheart team that tournament. They were spirited. They were exciting. They had an amazing offense, and just like a lot of like really talented players that you could kind of get behind and root for. And so kind of having the loss come like right at the end of the game was pretty tough. It was tough. I think we definitely ran out of legs. I mean, we didn't have as many players as the States by a small margin, but that can really wear people down when you have to double shift. For those of you that don't know, World Games, you only have 14 players. So you only have 2 lines. So if you have injuries on your team, you have people that have to double shift. And you're playing against Team USA. We welcome you to be a Canadian for the next hour. Crossover 213 in the chat.
There's also we also have I'm just pulling up the schedule on my side here, but there's also like gonna run it back, send it back. Is that right?
Yeah.
Malcolm Bryson from Team Canada is going to be on it, so you should check that out for sure. I'm just pulling up when that is. Tonight at 9 o'clock to 11. So Kayla Helton, legend. Icy Fresh, Malcolm Bryson, also a legend. So 9 to 11, you can watch it. I think Danie you're hosting Family Feud at 8, so you're probably going to host it and then watch the Send It Back. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm also on the Catch of the Year thing too, right before that.
You're on all night.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave this couch. My dogs have settled in. They've been walked, so we're all good to go. But yeah, the Send It Back's going to be great. To have them kind of dissect it is going to be really fun.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. We're going to keep things moving because we only have like 7 minutes. So CUC, the results there, Odyssey out of, I guess, Montreal, Quebec. Because sometimes they draw from not just the one city. But they win mixed. Sixers out of Toronto wins in the women's side, and then a GOAT out of Toronto as well. There's also some WUC bids. Danie, you want to talk about that? Because there's actually a significant result in the women's side, I think, related to that.
Yeah. So Mephisto qualified for the open division for WUC. Royals is like, yeah, it's been around for a couple of years, but has some red flag players as well. They qualified as well as Toronto Union. And then we have Iris out of Quebec, was in the finals with Sixers. And then more recently, a bid opened up for Sea Cows. And y'all listening to this probably don't know who Sea Cows are, but they're like it's like UBC and UBC alum. So they ended up taking down Traffic in the third place game. They weren't sure if they was going to equal into a bid. They got a bid.
Yeah, that's is it like, what is it, the passing of the torch? I remember when Dig and Ironside in the Boston, like Dig were some of the younger players. And so like this feels kind of similar, I guess. Like Sea Cow's quite a young team. Is there anyone on that team over 25, Danie? Like seriously?
I think they might have had like a pickup kind of thing, but I have a feeling there will be the Traffic symbol, the merge. There might be some in the future. It's not good for, like, especially the US series, for the teams to try to cannibalize each other. So I think that there will be a union of sorts emerging.
Are you saying this like with knowledge or just a hunch?
Alleged nothing.
All right, we'll keep things going. Quick shout out to the uni series. We're gonna talk uni series quick, like this quick shout out. U of T women's dominant throughout the year. Danie, you remember this? McGill winning their first title ever. So the weather was decent up until towards the end. It was like torrential downpour. I remember trying to like keep my papers dry. That was ill-fated affair, but terrible weather there for the uni series. And then, a couple Canadian teams were in the club series. We know Red Flag, non-existence anymore. So no one on the mixed side. But any notes from club before we talk about beach, and then we're going to get Justin Podnar on.
Club, I think things kind of settled out, shook out kind of as was expected. So I think Traffic had a hot start, but then it kind of fizzled out. Yeah. We only got 4 minutes. We got to keep going.
Yeah, sorry, that's the club results. Okay, beach, there were so many teams at beach. Danie, anything stick out to you from the WBUC?
Well, we're going to talk about this a little bit with Podnar later. But in general, lots of medals for Canada, especially, like, this isn't a surprise, but in Masters and Grandmasters, that's still the bubble where it's USA, Canada quite dominant. The bubble that's coming up where like Europe and the rest of the like world, Japan, all these other, well, Japan's been good for a long time, but like other countries are starting to kind of rise up. They're not quite aged into the Super Masters, Grandmasters yet. And so Canada did medal a lot. Canada ended up winning a gold medal in Masters Women's. So very, very exciting. And
let's see if we're going to test her on the pod.
I'm just pulling it up. That's what I have.
Great Grandmasters Open. Great Grandmasters
That's what I
Open.
meant.
Some legends on that team, like John Hassel out here, if you remember that name. Andy Octoloni as well. There were a few more. But a couple of first place finishes. Grandmaster Women's Masters Open also got second. And then Grandmasters Mixed. And then Masters Mixed coming in third. So
yeah,
that's some
pretty sick.
Some beach results out here.
Yeah.
Did we just speed run the recap? I think we did.
Yeah. Well, do you have any thoughts about beach? Did you watch a lot of the games?
I'm going to say this. Beach is a little bit more palatable because it's shorter games. Like, you can just, like, strap in. What did you say, Danie?
Like you can skip between, like you can watch a game in like 15 minutes.
That's what I mean. Like it's like what 15 minutes or something like that. Like it's very palatable to just sit down and watch, and it's exciting, the crazy layouts, right? And it's just super. Like I think it's more palatable. Like you're like, oh, okay, I gotta watch the club final or college final. There's ESPN, so that's gonna like or like drag on, da da da. But like beach is just like it's in and out. Halftime, there's not even time for an interview. You probably noticed that. It was like halftime, commercial, back on.
People don't like that. It's famously people don't like watching beach, but I agree with you. If you want to just like bang a couple games out, you can do that really fast. Like when the time zone is as crazy as it is, you can catch up on all the games you missed in a really short period of time. And so I was able to actually watch like every single Canadian game.
You watched every single Canadian game? Are you saying that?
There's one that I have not seen so far because I want to savor it. And I've been busy. I've been moving. Was the Mixed Masters bronze. I didn't originally know that one was streamed. And so I have yet to watch that one. I'm pretty sure I've seen the rest of the games.
Okay. I think that's going to wrap up. We want to make sure we hit the Podnar interview on time because we don't want to leave the interview with the Podfather short here. So there's a draw we're going to do. Charlie Hoppus, Jody A. Blood and Guts for donating. I've been told we've received $1,473 so far. And we're going to spin the wheel 3 times. I'm not sure if those are going to appear on the screen, but there's going to be a draw. Laura O is the first winner, I've been told. So congrats to you, Laura O. You win a gift card. I wish I knew the exact amount, but it's a gift card. So you're gonna get some good deals with B Ultimate there. So
you're gonna get one of those cropped reversibles. Have you seen those, Theo? They're really sick.
Joe, the next winner is Joe. I don't know if there's a last name associated with this Joe because I know a Joe like Joe Mama, but I'm not sure if that's him. But Joe, you've won. So congratulations. And we're going to have one more winner.
Drum roll, because we don't have that.
Hey, it's Jody A. Jody A out here. We see they donated, and now they've come out with a gift card. So congrats to you, Jody A. So Laura O, Joe, Jody A, you're our big winners with the B Ultimate gift cards there. So congratulations.
And everybody else, you are now a winner because we are going to transition into our interviews. So we are very excited to have Justin Podnar joining us. He's never done a podcast before, right, Podnar?
I have not. This is my first one.
Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, I've been talking to you since you were 14 years old, so I'll let Theo kick it off.
Well, first of all, Podnar, we appreciate you coming on. You're a young, not an up and comer. You've kind of made the scene, but it's great to see you out here. Why don't you quickly just introduce yourself? Because some people might know who you are, but some people are like, "Who's this guy on my screen right now?" So, who are you, Justin Podnar?
My name is Justin. I've been playing Frisbee for a lot of years now. I coached for Danie's company for like a ton of years, and I would honestly give most of my skill development to there. Honestly, just like constantly throwing Frisbees for like 6.5 hours a day, it really gets your skills up. But yeah, I played for UBC and the various TCs and Furious George this past summer.
Sick. You've been working for me since like basically like I feel like 6 years or something, but you were in our leadership program before that. You are definitely, I say this to a lot of people, you're my best employee. You're the best with the kids. If I were to die tomorrow and you were to take over my business, I would trust you more than anyone, which might surprise people to hear. Because I think there's a lot of dimensions. We're going to talk about this later. You have a lot of dimensions about you, but like that part of you, you're super responsible and just like amazing with kids. And yeah, you've been just don't ever quit, please. All right, Theo, you can go first.
All right. Well, let's talk about we kind of referenced this already, but there was a pretty big game to go out there in the Northwest regions. Talk through getting UBC to nationals. What did you learn from that whole tournament and the whole journey to get there?
Yeah, so I think with the amount of rookies we had last year and just like kind of like the coaching staff and everything, like I kind of started like with the whole process that it's going to be a 2-year process. So last year, like my only goal was just to get the team to nationals, get some experience, play against good teams, and it ended up working out. Like I didn't think that was the route I wanted. I didn't know why the route had to be so tough, but you know, you kind of just get given the gift and you got to do what you got to do. Obviously, it sucked having to take out our Canadian partners, but yeah, it's UVic UBC rivalry will go to the depths of the earth. So, yeah.
How hard is it to go from those types of games to like the next week, basically being at a training camp with players from UVic?
Yeah, I can't lie to you, it was pretty rough. It was definitely some controversy in that. Like, I definitely have some like regrets in that like game and stuff like that, but I still like, I don't know. I don't think it was like the outcome of the game, and I don't think that was like the reason why UBC went to nationals as much as other people might think so. But it was definitely a lot of apologies, a lot of like, it's just, I don't know. It's ultimate, man. It's just the game. Like, if there was video and they could have showed me, it could have went the other way, and maybe in that like controversy. But besides that, the end of the game was pretty clean if you watched it.
Yeah, I think I was at my own regionals or I was at a tournament, but I was like streaming on the sideline. My coach was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "It's universe, like UVic, UBC, you don't understand." Anyway, super exciting. So last year you got to go to nationals. You can talk a little bit about kind of how nationals was for your team. You said you had a lot of like first years, and then lead that into kind of how you're feeling about this year.
Yeah, so I think like even just like making the show, like it was like pretty crazy. Like there's a bunch of like amazing players that like I've looked up to over the years that never got to do it. They got to play their whole college careers and just like never get to go to nationals. And I just was like already so ecstatic. And I was just like trying to convince the rookies on how big of a deal it was and how after like 4 years of grinding, like we finally did it. And like it took a long, like they still didn't even get it, right? Like we're literally sitting in the hotel and like I literally see Danie and Theo both there at like the front, and then we see like Carlton's guys all there, and I was like, oh my god, like we're in it, man. Like this is like we're here right now, and it was a surreal feeling, like just like walking the atmosphere, just like getting to warm up with all like the top talented teams of college. Like that was pretty insane. And then I think like the afterwards, like thinking about after it happened, like now it's like it's game time. Like this year, like it's not a joke. Like people have had the experience, like. You can like act like you've been there before, but like actually say you've been there before. So it's not just such like a, whoa, where am I? It's like, I don't know. So we're going to do this year.
And you have all those rookies like that were playing already big time roles last year, playing more club this year, getting more experience. Kind of like, how are you feeling about this year?
Yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic. We have a pretty good captain squad with like Rex, Ewan, Miles Wong, and Bryn McCull, and with some really solid coaches too. Like I think like with the trajectory, like we have like guys in the gym at like every day, where I feel like before it was like we're trying to convince everybody to go. Like we have like this whole like lab point system that the boys get all fired up about, like, and they always say there's lab inflation, like there's too many like people just posting recovery stuff, and it's just like it's sick to see all the boys come together and just like have this like camaraderie and just like push each other to the max. It's what I've always wanted.
And your team actually, I've never seen this before, but you went to CCC. That's out there in the East Coast. So what led your team that looks like you're taking the season pretty seriously, trying to get those early season reps? What led into you guys going to CCC?
Yeah, so honestly, that took a lot of convincing. I'll be real with you. Like that took a lot of begging the coaches, begging the other captains. Like I was like, this is good for us. Like there's no bid contention, there's no point systems, and you just get to play really good quality games. And then like after a while, like, and also going to O5s the like last 2 years with like the rain and the wind. I don't know, it's just cold. It's not fun. You drive like 6 hours. It's like just such not a good time. And I'm saying 6 hours, meaning like more like 8 hours, like with like stops and stuff like that. So then we were like, you know what, why not go like down to sunny Atlanta? Like that was sick. And honestly, like as much as results don't really show, like I will say like I was pretty like happy with the success. Like we were up on UNC, like the boys kind of just like filtered out at the end, but like we played close games against most teams, and we ended up the tournament with like 12 guys. Like we were at 12 guys by the end. So it's kind of like can't really do much with that. Like we played Texas with 13 guys. Like
I think I watched all the streams from then, and like there was a game that you were down and out, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't watch this game anymore. I started doing other work, and I tuned back in. I was like, oh, I'm gonna rewind and see what happened. I feel like you got 5 breaks.
Yeah, it was crazy. Sorry, I'm laughing at your thumbs up.
You had universe games against the top teams. It was great. Somebody in the chat says that you have not been to enough CCCs because they're normally torrential downpour and freezing. That's funny.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get that. I was in shorts and a t-shirt and loving it. So,
there's another question in the chat before we move on to beaches. What is your favorite nickname you've heard for yourself?
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like there's a lot of these. No.
It's gotta be Podfather.
There's a lot of these nicknames. I don't think I'm there yet. I still think there's so much to grow, and I think I haven't even hit the strides I want to hit yet. So the nicknames are cute and they're really nice, but I don't know. I think J-Pod is probably just my favorite because it's kind of what I started with.
Okay, so moving on to beach. You were on the senior mixed team this year, and yeah, I was I think of all the teams, these are the games I was most excited to watch. I think that just watching, I just know a lot of your players. It was just really fun, especially to watch your O-line kind of cook. Can you talk about your beach experience?
I'd say surreal. I was pretty shocked to even have the opportunity to go there, especially with the talented roster we had. I was just so shook to even have that type of thing. And then once we got there and I was able to watch Kevin Underhill and Anushka just throw back-to-back bombs to each other. I was like, what is going on right now? I was like, this is pretty crazy to watch. I got to just sit there as the third cutter for a bit and just chill, and just when I need to do stuff, I did stuff. But watching them was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, they're really exciting. Is there anyone else that you want to shout out on that team?
I got to give it to Keith McRae. Dude, I love Keith McRae. That guy is such a good guy, such a genuine. I spent work with him, and then I actually got to know him and Adam Turcotte, and those guys are just, we had a boys room, just us three, and it was just such a vibe. And yeah, I had a great time. And then obviously the USA game, having that moment with him was just insane.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think the whole beach experience is it was losing quarters, for example, get the elephant out of the room was tough. That was I didn't leave my room until 9 p.m. type thing. I was pretty heartbroken, especially because I knew the talented roster we had, and just shout out to Czech. They played the most perfect game I've ever seen. That was just really cool to see, but it was definitely heartbreaking. But we got to obviously go back and look at it, and just going into the USA game, that was just crazy. We're down at 7-3. The Cuckoo, the coach, is yeah, dude, I'm not playing you no more. We're just gonna roll out the troops here and kind of save you for the other games we're gonna have to play. And then we just started coming back and getting breaks, and the crowd started getting into it, and you're just feeling it, and you're whoa, what is going on? And then it was just crazy to watch people be so shook on what was happening on the USA squad, because that doesn't really happen that often. And it just kept coming, and then these breaks just kept coming, and then there was miscoms. Then we got to the end dish of the game, and then I was whoa, we can really do this. And then they tried to tempt Kristoff with a nice huck, and I was oh yeah, he's not getting that. And then after that, I was we worked it up all the way at the field, and then obviously got to throw it out. I missed the upline to Anushka, and I was there's no way I just threw this game away. There's just no possible way. Please, someone up there, come down and give me a gift or something. And then yeah, luckily, honestly, if it was grass, I'll be real with you, probably would have been down. But with the sand, it's so hard to tell. There's divots, there's everything. And I trust Claire's judgment that she wouldn't make a bad call. And then after that, I was I'm never turning this disc over again in this game. It will not happen. And then we kind of worked it around and stuff like that. And I got to give a big shout out to Malcolm Bryson, actually. There's a point where I cleared out, I threw a reset and cleared out, and then Malcolm was you gotta get back in there from the side, he can't catch up right now. I was all right, sure. So I booked it back in there, and then that was yeah, huge shout out to Big Malk there. He was awesome to hear, and just once you make that game winning catch, the emotions just tumble on you. You're just what did I just do? And I don't know. I was just so mind blown. How many times I wish for this to happen. Obviously, I wish it could have happened in the gold medal game, because that would have been even more electric. But I don't know.
That's the crazy part, Podnar. Y'all you all lose one game, you beat the States twice, and you finish fifth. Like the battle for fifth had France, USA, Canada. I don't even know who the fourth team was.
We don't worry about the other team.
But like those three battling out. Once I saw that you all three got knocked out, because USA and France got knocked out before you all did to Czech. And I do want to mention that when I saw that y'all had lost to Czech, I went back and watched it. And I was like, what happened? Did Canada lose this game? Czech just did not give you opportunities. It was actually like they played so clean. That was like a really like big takeaway from that one. But anyways, the fact that all of those teams like were battling for fifth, and then you came out for like fifth is kind of like a really, really, really dusty, dirty gold at that tournament. Like to finish fifth is crazy.
For sure.
Like,
well, and
yeah,
they gave USA William Brody Brahman had confirmed this to me via email because I said on the podcast, but you gave USA their lowest finish ever at a tournament, like not like clubs, but like in countries. This is their lowest finish, and Podnar, you were a part of that, so that's got me feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, like
a lot of
obviously,
Americans
like
be careful.
I know,
I know. We're gonna see the viewership go down, but I think we might see the viewership go up because I want to Podnar. I think we got to talk about spirit and some of the things that I'm going on Reddit. I'm searching your name. I see posts come up. Podnar, why don't you talk about like when you're in those situations, when you're at like let's say Worlds and you see those, like are you trying to tune into that? Are you noticing those things? Are you trying to lock in? Like what are you seeing when do you go on Reddit during a tournament?
I'll be real with you. Like obviously Reddit sucks. Like being roasted on Reddit, like it's just not great. Like you don't want to see yourself getting hated on. Like obviously, like I kind of have always took this mindset of just like, I don't know, they just like don't know me. Like the people that know me as like a good guy and stuff like that. And like I definitely have a bad rep that I'm still working through. And like it's gonna take a minute, as I've told like a bunch of people. And like I feel like I was a little shaken up by that, just because like I felt like at U24s, like I was trying like pretty hard to like try to show this like new self and stuff like that. And like especially in that Japan game, especially that edit that was made, like I was like I definitely need to step off, but it's more just tiredness, and I wasn't actually trying to be like a bad guy, and like I was uncontested stuff like that, but it was like, I don't know, you kind of just got to deal with what I've done, right? So it's like a slow path. It's like slowly getting better every day and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't look at Reddit. I'll be real with you.
It's kind of the fate of Canada or Canadian Ultimate too, that because there was a reputation that was gained at some point, it's almost that we have to like extremely overcorrect in order to just be considered neutral. And so in your case, like there's obviously been some calls that have not like been what anyone would deem to be like going the right way or whatever. And so in order for you to kind of get your reputation back and to kind of get people to like, oh no, he's going to make the right call, or he's doing the right thing, or he has the best intentions, you have to like overcorrect. Maybe let's talk a little bit about like your mindset a couple years ago when you're playing, you're starting to hear these things kind of coming up for you. Like how does that feel? And then when you're in these moments on the field, like how does that come into play? Like how does that identity kind of like shape what's going on for you?
Yeah, I think definitely a couple of years ago, Justin was definitely a much more immature self. Like I kind of was like basing the sport of Ultimate just like on past stuff like baseball and like soccer and basketball and stuff like that. So you kind of like always have referees, right? Like really like my voice doesn't really matter or stuff like that. Like it's kind of just like ref will call it. So it was like never my intention to like do those type of things as much as it came off. And I feel like I was also a very toxic self, and it's something I'm still working on and stuff like that. But like I will say, like as you probably know, like I love celebrations. Like that's like my number one thing. Like I think that's like the greatest thing in Ultimate. Like even just watching like Rowan do the film review with like the Belgian having like the whole like the Ronaldo celly was like legendary to watch. But I think it's like every time you kind of hear these things, like, it kind of like shapes you back to reality. Like it kind of shifts your mindset of like, oh, like I really need to think of what I'm doing. Like I can't just play clueless and play mindless. Like I actually am like doing something wrong here, and I'm just like missing that. And I feel like when I was younger, it just like didn't key into those like things as much. And I think, yeah, something I'm going towards now.
Yeah, I know. Like you're extremely competitive.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah, I hate losing.
Like probably plays like a large part in it. Like it's kind of like if any people have watched the Michael Jordan kind of docuseries, like he will do anything to win, including like making enemies of people that aren't enemies and stuff like that. He like plays these mind games. And I think it has made you a very clutch player. Like I've coached you a bunch, and including in Australia, and like when the games really matter are often like you do things that you wouldn't normally do in normal games. Like you play kind of outside of yourselves. So I think regulating that competitiveness with like the spirit aspect is just a maturity thing. And you're talking about how you are kind of trying to work on that part of it. Theo, you're kind of itching to get in there.
Well,
sorry.
People are giving you some love in the chat, Justin. So I want to give you credit for that. Great mindset. You know, they're saying happy to hear you're working on it actively. So can you maybe give some, I have two questions. One, what are some misconceptions you think people have about you? And then two, what are the things you're actually like doing actively to, as you said, be better in those ways? So first one, what are some misconceptions you think?
I think some misconceptions is that's a good question. I'll be real with you. I feel like I don't like to listen to people that much. So like, yeah, like I feel like I don't like listen to the hate that much. So like I don't really see like the misconceptions. Like I feel like definitely like nowadays, I will say for sure, like if a bad call is made, like it's definitely not intentional. Like it's definitely like if someone will like talk to me about it, or like there's like something there, like I'll definitely listen to someone out, or like if there's like film, like you can see even in the like the U24 games or like stuff like that, like I just like was like, oh, let's just go to film, like let's just go look at film real quick. And I think like it's like a thing where it's like I won't just try to, I don't know, like abuse the rules to like help me. Like that's not really what I'm looking for. Like especially nowadays, like I just want to win because I've trained as hard as I am, and like I'm like where I'm at today, like I just like purely want to beat skill on skill, like ultimate on ultimate. Like we don't need to have calls like decide the game for us anymore. Yeah, and then the second question was the second one was what am I doing actively? Actually, I feel like this is like kind of shown in the USA Canada game. I feel like I used to be very reactionary. Like I was very like not like mentally locked in. So like someone make a call and I'd be like, yo, what the heck? Like how? Like it just like didn't really think. And now it's more like I'm trying to like take a deep breath, listen to the person out, and kind of just like go out. Like I can say there was like a call on like a travel call in that USA game that like I threw it, and like I don't know, I don't think it was a travel, but it was called. And like I was about to react, and I was like, wait, nope, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna accept it, continue on the game, keep playing. Like there's just no point in like a big reaction anymore, which I feel like before it was like I would just kind of explode, and I think it just like made my team worse and made everyone around me worse. And I just think like the narrative it put on me was not what I wanted to do either.
Yeah, I think that reaction thing has been a thing that like you do see that in other sports. And when I am coaching athletes that are coming from basketball, from soccer, or whatever, that there is a lot of that, and it takes a long time to kind of unlearn that, to kind of like regulate. But I also think that there's a lot of times that I think that you got like in Australia, there'd be a time where someone would make a call and you would like have you'd kind of start to react and then would walk away, and then people would be upset because I'm like, he's regulating. Like that actually upset me a lot, because I'm like, he's actively not like exploding at this person. And like everybody is kind of coming into this sport with a different background and a different like just kind of like mental thing that they're working through. And like if we're seeing an athlete who is doing what they can to regulate so they can come back to the conversation, why aren't we celebrating that instead of like still like harping on that person? Because I feel like if people want people to change, they got to give them that space to grow. And that kind of stuff used to always bother me. Like we're so quick to kind of like tell people how to spirit. We're going to tell people how to regulate. So anyways, I just want to acknowledge that I have seen you trying over the years, and I don't think that those efforts have been acknowledged. Of course, there's times where we're like, oh my gosh, Podnar's Podnering right now. And like kind of like it is true. There's like examples in the past and stuff. My next question is related to like, you played Furious this year. So that was your first time playing like open club. And under Furious, I know that was like a conversation that a lot of them were having about like, okay, this Podnar kid has a reputation playing on red flag, whatever. I want to kind of give you space to kind of talk about that experience, and maybe like any people on that team or people that have kind of like helped you or whatever, kind of get to a place where you want to actively change.
Yeah. I think Furious was amazing for me and just like the actual just like development of myself and my Frisbee career and stuff like that. Like I have to give big shout outs to like Kevin Underhill and Morgan Hibbert, like huge people that would just like always talk to me and like stuff like that. And like Kevy like always checked in with me if I was like ever doing like anything. And I just, yeah, it was a great season. And yeah, if anyone wants to come play Fearless George, it's a good time. And I definitely recommend people out there to come pull up to Vancouver. It's beautiful out here.
Actively recruiting is what you're saying.
Dude, gotta do it.
We got a question in the chat. We missed this earlier. So Errol Kaler 7636 says, what's your go-to Timmy's order? So Tim Hortons, maybe if you're an American listening, it's a staple out here. I know in upstate New York and some other areas, Tim's does exist. So yeah, what's your go-to Timmy's order? Maybe like a go-to breakfast order, and then if you have like a lunch order as well.
Okay. So I get the farmer's wrap. Has to be sausage there. And then I get like 2 of those. And then I get like a nice apple fritter donut just to top it off for the breakfast. I actually just
2
recently found out
wraps?
of an apple. Yeah. Come on.
Oh my God.
And then, I just found out about apple fritter donuts, and those are gas. I would highly recommend those. And then for the lunch order, I feel like I don't really have Tim's for lunch, but if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be a BLT.
That's valid. If you put an apple fritter in the air fryer with ice cream, that's elite. Ice cream after. That's crazy. Okay, we got 6 minutes left, Theo. I know we have like a whole list of things that we could ask, and I want to be very mindful that I've accidentally taken up more time.
No, it's all good. Justin, you said something earlier. You said you don't feel like you've made it, even though you've done a lot. Okay, so what are your kind of future like? What are the goals for the Podfather? I won't use Podfather. What are the goals for Justin Podnar out here?
Obviously, like I can say I've probably made some like individual strides, but until a goal is brought back to Canada, like the job is just not done. Like as much as you can have like individual success, like until you can like feel proud of like what you did for your country and just like doing that in any type of way. Like honestly, because I'm Canadian, like I feel like even like winning a USAU club nationals, a USAU college nationals, like that is like pretty what I'm going for. Like that's what I'm striving for. And that's like what I want to do. So I feel like as much as I have a lot of individual things I'm going to work on, like throwing wise, cutting wise, all that stuff, and just always on the grind, like there's now a part of me that needs to work on like that team dynamic, creating that type of culture that just like breeds success. Like it's just like, it's not like ultimate. You will never be able to win by having one player. That's just not a possibility. Like I haven't seen it happen yet. If people can figure that out and teach them how to do it, I'd love it. But it's definitely a team sport, and you definitely need all like 22 guys in your team to be brought in with like either cheering or like just like grinding together, just like creating this team unity that it's like not just that one player. And like I think maybe if that could be a misconception, it's just like that like I'm just striving for that team first mentality and being able to really be proud of the team that I'm representing. And yeah.
For the kind of like future stuff, I kind of want to have, I know you're a young player, but if you were to give advice to like this next generation of kids that are growing up, kind of like watching maybe you play, what is like one thing Frisbee wise that you would give them advice on, suggest for them to be able to kind of like, I think you had a bit of a lull after high school. You were like not sure you were going to play, and like you weren't getting a lot of minutes on UBC at the beginning, and then you had a kind of meteoric like success rise. So what's one thing that you would suggest that players focus on in terms of kind of being able to like make it to the next level? And then also on the kind of like the spirit side, the regulation side, any advice for any other players that are coming up that are like super hot, super competitive, want to win, how to kind of play within spirit?
I would say people are definitely going to misunderstand you. People will definitely try to tell you that like you're doing too much, or that like all the grind is not worth it because there's no money in the sport. And I would just say like, put your head down, follow the things you love, and it'll get you to where you want to go. Like, I feel like people constantly don't like agree with a lot of like the training stuff that like I do, or like how much thoughts, like how 90% of my thoughts are always like on ultimate and like how to like get better and like things I can bring to the game. But just like never discard those thoughts. Always take those as what you really want and just fight for something that you love. Yeah.
And then
getting cut from U20 will be the best thing that will ever happen in your life. I will tell you that.
That is like very not relatable, but like I see that a lot. A lot of people that don't get cut from U20 make the next U24 round are like their success is unparalleled.
Yeah,
they got the hunger out there. So, Podnar, exactly. we're time is running out, so we got 2 quick questions. We're gonna answer them. This is rapid fire style. Who are you most excited to match up with against in the future?
Either team or individual. I'm not sure what.
It's got to be my boy Alex Atkins, man. That matchup has got to
there
come.
it is.
He's been my role model.
Okay,
I gotta see it.
Last question. Who's one player you want to play on Furious in the future? They're saying Mr. Newspaper says shoot your shot. So here's your chance to recruit, and then we'll let you go.
Play with
on Furious?
Yes.
This is a fun one. I heard Henry Ng is nicely in Vancouver. I'd love for him to come out to Furious one time. That'd be a nice addition.
I think that's going to wrap it up there. Justin Podnar, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. We got Alyssa Mason coming up. Danie's going to go. There's the donations are coming in. We do appreciate that. And that means Pet Cam is on his way as well. So close to the next milestone of 1,500. So thank you for all the donors so far. There's a QR code somewhere there on your screen. So Danie, I think it's your time for the Pet Cam. I'm pretty sure.
Does that mean I just put my pets on the camera?
Yeah, that's what it means. That's what it means. There it is.
Indy. Oh, such a cute little baby. She gets excited. She has to have the ball in her mouth. That's how she regulates. Podnar regulates by walking away and catching a breath. She regulates by putting a ball in her mouth. Did we earn enough to get the second one?
I think we have enough time. So, yeah, the Pet Cam, we appreciate it. Don't go away because we got another legend in the house. That's Alyssa Mason. So we brought you not one, but 2. I mean, you get to see Danie and I, of course, but not one, but 2 guests out on the podcast. Alyssa Mason in the house. Let's go. Danie, I'm going to let you ask the first question. You did it to me, so you get to ask Alyssa the first question out here.
Oh my gosh. There's so many of the questions on the list that I'm excited for. Okay, this one is just because it's relatable. But you're coming off of an injury, and your comeback was very different than my comeback. I came back like a timid little baby, and you came back full explosive. Like, it was so exciting for me personally to watch, and like, as much as I don't know whether you like this or not, you're now kind of like a role model to anyone else that kind of goes through that same thing. But how mentally did you come back from that? Like, you were incredible on field.
Can I start by introducing myself?
Yeah, you said first question. Sorry, this is Alyssa Mason.
I'm Alyssa. I'm from Toronto, Ontario. Originally from Cambridge, but moved to Toronto in the past 2 years. And I've played on, like Podnar, a lot of Team Canadas, and then I also play for the Toronto Sixers. But I can go and answer your question. I mean, I will say that coming back from an ACL injury is like the hardest thing you can ever do. There's a lot of hard things that I think an athlete will go through, but coming back from like an injury like so substantial is so hard. Hard physically, like you can't walk when you come out of surgery. It's hard mentally. Honestly, like I had such a big support system, like the entirety of Sixers. I feel like a lot of athletes might feel like they get kind of disconnected from the sport, but I think Sixers was like a really big rock in that, and they let me coach, so I was like still involved. And then when I was coaching, it made it mentally easier to come back because it was like, wow, I'm seeing all of like my teammates, my best friends doing this thing that I really love, have a lot of passion for, that I really want to get back to. And so that helped on all those like long winter nights where I was like, I got to get my butt to the gym. So yeah, I think just like the support system, and also just like loving the game. There was like a moment at first where I was like, wow, like I'm like approaching 30, like not that 30 is old, but like I was like, do I just like stop playing? And it was like, oh, no, I love this sport so much. I'm not gonna stop playing.
Please don't stop playing. I can speak for myself. I was better as a player after my injury. I learned how to train in a different way. I didn't take anything for granted, and I got better into my 30s. So don't stop playing. You're a young pup.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. I got way better after my injury. There's this big joke in Toronto where always like, oh, like, you know, the best players always had knee surgery. Like Lauren Kamara, like Cindy Trung has like knee issues. It's just like so many players. It's like, you know, you just need to like have a knee injury to like become the best. And I just like, yeah, like I just like trained harder, like got more athletic because I was training so much. And then also like while I was coaching, I was just learning so much more about the game and like a perspective that you don't have as a player.
That's such a like really, I'm going to clip that and send that to any of my athletes that have that injury because unfortunately it happens a lot. I wanted to get that one out of the way.
Yeah, it's actually...
that struck me. You were amazing at Club Nats.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I feel the best that I have. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit lag there. Were there some challenges along the way though? Like you're hyping it up of your training, which is awesome. But what about some challenges so that people who I've heard there's like a group chat. Is this true for like? I'm not sure if it's just in Toronto, but like ACL like club or something. Anyone who's like torn something, they're like in a group chat and talk about it. But yeah, what were some challenges you experienced while in recovery?
Yeah, so there is the group chat. I forget what exactly it's called, but I think it is like, I think it's for anyone that just wants to join, has had an ACL injury. I don't think it's like exclusive to Toronto. So if you ever want to join, that's just for like asking questions. Challenges I faced. One of the biggest challenges I faced when coming back was like, obviously you're 80%. Like anyone who has gone through the injury probably feels this way. But I think the biggest thing for me is my identity as a Frisbee player. I've always just been this like defensive line grinder. You know, I'm on for multiple points in a row. Like I like do the big pulls, all those like big things. And when I came back, I couldn't do that. I think when you have an ACL injury that's substantial, like defense is the hardest thing. It's like the thing that's going to come back last. And so for the majority of Sixers, I was on O-line, which was great because I got to like learn how to play in like the different side of the game. Like offense has always been one of my bigger struggles. And now I'm much better at offense, but I think I struggled with that identity a lot, being like, oh, I'm just like not this like defensive superstar that I've always been. And that was really hard for me coming back.
Sounds good. We're gonna jump, like we kind of did this with Pod, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna jump into the spicier stuff, Danie, because we gotta. I think this happened maybe a couple of years ago. You had some comments in a Reddit. You were getting heated about multiple things. You know, I know you got your takes on like the seeding and stuff, so we're gonna jump right into that. Sixers was seeded lower than Traffic in 2023, and this past year. What are your takes on that, Alyssa? We got to get out here right now.
Like, I think for anyone who knows me, they know that I'm very vocal in my opinions. And I think that nothing against Traffic. I think the people on Traffic are my friends and they're like a great team. And they had a great showing at Nationals. Don't like USAU Nationals and CUCs, obviously. But Sixers as a team has constantly outperformed Traffic at almost every instance besides one game, one single game where they beat us at USA Nationals. And Ultimate Canada's reasoning, from what I've heard, is that based on that, the last time we played Traffic, that was like what like made them first and us second. But it's like if you look at like the entire, like every single CUC we have won. Every single other game we've won, and even like our last year's USAU Nationals, we outperform them. So it's like I don't know if UC maybe lacks some critical thinking skills or something, but like it just doesn't make sense to my brain. But that's just me. And like once again, nothing against Traffic, great athletes, great people, but I think Sixers has constantly outperformed them, and that's just the reality that we live in.
Yeah, especially
and we proved it.
Yeah. There's nothing better than cutting somebody up than winning them and outperforming. But I know with the seeding stuff, Traffic was also like split this year. Like we had two teams coming from Vancouver, so like it just kind of felt like there's more information that could have been utilized here to maybe do this. Yeah, how many games do you think you've played against Traffic since you've been on Sixers?
I mean, I can't put a number, probably less than people think. Like, we don't actually play them that much. We get to play them at CUC. I mean, we didn't even play them at CUCs, which was a really big bummer because I would have liked to, maybe like put some like action behind all of my words. But yeah, I don't know, maybe like 12, maybe like twice a year, once at USAU, once at CUCs.
Yeah, so it's like 12.
And every time it's such a good game.
Record.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not even talking about like just me. Like teams have like the Sixers iterations before me have also beat Traffic. So
yeah. I think that was the first time Traffic had ever beaten Sixers. As like since Sixers existed, like the post Capital days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways.
Which
These
I think
two reminiscing right now.
I was there. I didn't play much, but I was there. Our O-line got benched. We threw out our D-line as our O-line just to shake it up to see what they would do. And it worked. It was great. Got to drink a lot of water.
I think that if Sea Cows and like obviously the like, you know, you have the younger players and the older players, that's like kind of what it seems like is happening. Like I'm not too sure. I'm not in the Vancouver scene. But I think that if you guys mixed, you like Vancouver would have an electric women's team. I think that would be sick to see. But I understand like different avenues for wanting to play the game. So
yeah, you mentioned some stuff about Ultimate Canada earlier. Is there are there things, maybe they're listening, I don't know. Are there things that you would want changed? I you know, I have my own opinions. I don't like that there's like hard cap. That's like a big one for me. Like games ending on hard cap. I like don't like that at nationals. So that's something I would change. Are there things that you would want changed from the UC perspective?
I don't know if I have a good answer for this question. Like there's a lot of like rumblings that I'll like rumble about. I think this is hard because Canada doesn't give a lot of priority to sports, I think in general, but I think maybe just helping more funding for national teams. Like I think even like the World Games team Canada is one of the only people that like fully pay out of pocket. And it's just like, that was one of the reasons that I couldn't play this year, like on top of my knee, but like I just like couldn't afford to go to China. And it's just like really unfortunate that like top athletes can't afford to play. And then, yeah, like the hard cap rule sucks, obviously. And then I think I have like a little bit of a gripe with their coaching selections, but I think that's also biased because Jordan Marin is like one of the best coaches I've ever had in the history of ever. And then she didn't even get an opportunity to coach U20s, which I think was like really bogus. But
hey, this is the takes we want, Danie.
Like, I don't think I've seen Jordan's name come up for U24 selection.
It's for U20s, and I don't know if she wanted me to say anything, so I'm sorry, Jordo, if she didn't. But I just stand up for my people. And
we like that about you. I'm the same way. I will like ride or die for my people, but Jordan does deserve an opportunity. 100%. I agree with you. She should apply for U24s. Okay. I have a question about your aesthetic because you're iconic, not just with how you play, but how you dress while you play. I don't know. Just like, can you talk about like, because you're committed to it. Is it a style thing? Is it a comfort thing? For any of you that haven't seen Alyssa play, first of all, what are you doing? Get out of the rock that you're living under. But you have like a tuck situation.
Yeah. It started off as like, I don't regulate heat very well. That's how it started. So I was like, I'll just, tuck my shirt. Like, I just like, don't like the fabric on my skin. Like it's like, just I'm sweating a lot while I'm playing. So I just want as like the least amount of clothing on as possible. And then I think it just kind of stuck. I think people know me as this person who tucks her shirt. And now I feel like not that I have to do it. I enjoy it. I like the way I look when I play. I think I think it's like now it's just a confidence thing too. Like it started off as like, I was hot. And now it's just, I like how it looks. I like how I play. Feel good, look good, play good.
Yeah, you look like you're hunting when you're playing defense and you have your shirt tucked like that. Like you look like you're gonna get somebody. It's good. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Is that something?
Oh, sorry. People have referred to me as like a velociraptor.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is that something you think about? Like, I don't know. We talked about this offline. By the way, Alyssa's a huge like Blue Jays fan, so more than jersey, just we talked a lot during the playoffs, but something we've talked to Alyssa is like kind of the mystique around you as a player. Like when you go to tournaments, is that something you're thinking about when you're playing or making calls or anything like that? Like how do you kind of take that aura that people have or this conception they have of you when you're playing?
Like I wouldn't say I think about it at tournaments. Honestly, when I go to like USAU tournaments, I feel like I'm a very little fish in a big pond. I feel like there's a lot of people who are like known more than me and like players that I look up to that I get to play against, which is super awesome. I think in Canada, like maybe a bit more, but I don't feel like I'm this player who's like people should be starstruck by. I want to be like approachable and, you know, be a role model in a way that like people look up to me and you know, like my playing gives them confidence and makes them want to be better, but not in a way that I'm like, oh, I'm a big star.
This just triggered a really random memory, but at WUC, like the Australia Team Canada tryouts in Toronto, there were little girls there specifically wanting to watch you try out. And they were like, when they saw you, they were like so excited. I don't know if they got an autograph from you or anything like that. For me, that was just like really cool to kind of see that like there's a lot of like girls that are growing up idolizing someone who's just like a baller athlete, somebody who's not like we normally like focus so much more on offensive players, and you are both now. Like I know you talked about how like it wasn't always a big part of your game, but you are a two-way player through and through. But defense is, as you said, is how you made your identity, and to be a defensive focused person and have like young girls looking up to you just like meant a lot to me, which was really cool. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't, but honestly, hearing that, like, yeah, it just warms my heart. Like like you said, like defensive players don't get a lot of rap, you know? You don't get the stats. You're not getting goals and getting assists. And I might get like, maybe like 5 to 10 goals a tournament. It's because I'm playing lockdown D. How are you supposed to get noticed when you're doing that?
I guess you always like take the team's best player, or does it depend on the team? Sometimes your coaches will try to give you like, I know Fury does this. Well, they'll give that the best defender to like the weaker offensive player, let them roam a bit.
Yeah, I don't always take the best, maybe best player on the field. I think we also have like with Sixers, we have like such a wide range of defenders as well. So like someone like Rachel Kook, who's like always going to be better than me on like small shifty handlers. So she'll take, and you know, like I didn't take Valeria when we played Molly Brown, like Tayama, Leal did, Rachel Kook, you know, like solid handler defenders. So I might take like the best cutter, but it's nice that on Sixers we do just have like a lot of very solid people. So I wouldn't say I necessarily always take the best player, but.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that story you just shared, Danie, I gotta ask you more about that because we asked the same question to Pod, so we're gonna do it to you. Like the advice. Hopefully, there's some young players in the audience. We're gonna get to a couple questions in the chat shortly, but what's some advice you would have for younger players trying to get into Ultimate, maybe specifically female Ultimate players, and some advice for them?
Okay. Number one for female younger players is play women's. Like nothing against mixed, but you are always going to get more touches. You're going to be able to do more when you're playing women's. It's just like I've played mixed before, and I am like way less of an influential player when I'm on the field because men are just, they're bigger, they're stronger, faster, and that's like, so just play women's. Number two is you just got to like work hard. Like I feel like, especially in Canada, Frisbee has always been this thing where Canadians were always like the best athletes out there. And so we could just roll into a tournament and kind of like, you know, roll over everyone. But as the sport's growing and people are getting better, like Europe's getting better, you just can't do that anymore. Like you need to work hard. You need to go to the gym in the off season. You need to do track workouts. You got to train your butt off so that you can be the best, because the sport is coming into this age where you can't just be the best anymore by just like being a good athlete. You have to be a good athlete and you have to train.
Okay, one of the questions from the chat is just, can you talk about like your favorite Ultimate memory, or like a favorite Ultimate memory that comes up from a TC team, from Sixers, and why? What's your favorite?
I was actually talking about this with my friend a couple days ago. My favorite memory or maybe tournament was the last WUC. So that was WUC in Cincinnati, I think. And the reason why it's my favorite tournament is because we kind of just, all of our World Games players on that year, because there were like 7 or 8, no, I think 6 out of 7 of the players on the World Games team were on Sixers. And so we gave them the option to not come to WUC. And so I think me and Brittany and Bear were the ones who showed up, but like we were missing, like Lauren didn't come, Molly didn't come, Hannah didn't come, Laura didn't come. And so we were just missing like a lot of big players. And then Carla didn't come coach because she had something going on. So it was just Jordan. And yeah, so we just kind of went to this tournament with like 0 expectations and just like really wanted to have a good time. And then we beat Brute Squad on day 1, which was amazing, with just kind of like this like ragtag roster and bunch of young kids. And then in my brain, for some reason, I think we placed a lot higher than we did because I just had so much fun. I was like, this is just the best tournament in the world, and we were amazing. And then I found out like 2 weeks ago we came 8th, which still isn't that bad in terms of like WUC in the grand scheme of things. But in my mind, I was like, we won the tournament. It was awesome.
Looks like there's a couple other questions. First, well, this is not a question, it's more a comment. People said, this is from way back now, Danie, in our earlier conversation, but the Vancouver merging Maples. I don't know if I like that team name, but that's what someone said there, the Vancouver merging Maples. I think we can do a little bit better than that one. But I guess maybe we'll use this as like a team and player. Who do you like to match up against?
Team? I think playing Molly Brown is always super fun. Like even our pre-quarters this year was super fun. And like, it was like, they got some breaks, we got some breaks. And in general, like they're just a gritty team. And we're also known as like a very gritty team. Player? I don't know. I really like matching up against like the big names, you know? I just think it feels good that to like go out there and like kind of do my best to shut down like a player that people see as like, oh, they're just going to like run around all their defense. And so it's super awesome. Honestly, I like playing against Dawn Colton. I think I like her game. I think it's similar to mine. And so playing defense on her is like super fun.
Yeah, I think you did say 6'7", so this chat's going a little crazy. You said 6'7" players now.
I try to tune that out.
Apparently, I don't know. Middle school is out of my brain now, so I'm not even registering with it. So, I guess I would like to give you an opportunity to kind of talk about anyone that maybe you want to shout out that's on Sixers now that is like popping off, or anyone, and maybe it could be an and, anyone that's kind of helped you kind of get to where you are, anyone you want to kind of acknowledge, coaches, teammates, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on for the next minute, like 9 minutes, about who I want to shout out and who I like can attribute to my success. I think we have a lot of younger players on Sixers who don't get a lot of credit, and who are just like going to be up and coming players in the next few years. So like I talked about Rachel, and like, not that she's unknown, but I think like grand scheme, like Rachel is just one of like the best defenders in the world, potentially. She's so smart. Tyam is also amazing. And then we have like younger rookies, like Maya List is our fiery redhead. She is so fast, so speedy. Like the exponential curve at which she's grown over the past 2 years is like crazy to see. Can't wait to continue seeing her grow. And then Belle, we have a girl named Belle on our team, Belle Young, and she played Platypus last year, which I don't know if you've heard of that team, but it's like a team, like a mixed team from Toronto. And so the Platypus to Sixers pipeline is crazy, and she had a great season all year.
That is crazy, actually.
Yeah, and then like shout out to like people like that have like helped me so far. Like, I mean, my coaches, like Carla and Jordo, are like so phenomenal. They've been there for me for years and years. And then like, yeah, just my teammates that are always like keeping me going, like Britt, Molly, like through and through, pushing me to be better.
Yeah, and I know Alyssa from way back in the day because you grew up Cambridge. Did you say that earlier in your intro?
Yeah.
You shout out Cambridge. So she played on a team called PPF, which no longer exists actually. So RIP to PPF. But when you first started there, you kind of shouted out some teammates, you know, now. But like when you first started at PPF, like when did you know or believe that you could play at the for the highest level team in Canada? Like, when did you get there, and how did PPF or those players on that team help you?
Yeah, I mean, there were so many players that helped me grow. Like, I came out from high school and didn't really know how to play Frisbee. And then I was a junior level age, and my parents were like, we're not driving you to Toronto to go play Toro. So I was like, how am I supposed to play Frisbee? And then my high school coach was like, there's this team called PPF, and you can apply to be a junior player on the adult team. And so I do this whole application, and it was like crazy work. But then they like took me in as like their like little junior, and Tess Whitman, who's one of my best friends, she also was a junior with me at the time. And so, yeah, like players that really stick in my mind are like Darcy Drummond, and Melissa Dunbar is like one of like, she like truly molded me into the athlete and like the Frisbee player I am today. And I was like super, super devastated that I didn't have a chance to play with her at WUC in Australia because I had to drop out. And that would have been like probably our last time we would have gotten to play together. But you know, life happens.
Okay. I think, Danie, you have another question? I think we're gonna
we have
wrap
1
things
minute.
up soon.
I don't know if
1 minute.
Well, do you have anything else that you want to share with the last minute that you have?
Wait, misconceptions about Alyssa
Mason.
Mason. Because we asked that about Justin Podnar. So are there any misconceptions about Alyssa Mason out there? I don't know if you listen to the noise out in the universe.
I was listening to Podnars, but I think maybe a misconception is I can be like a little intense on the field, and I think I can be intense off the field, but I think I'm pretty like soft off the field. I think I'm very nice, and I wish people would maybe give me like the chance to get to know me off the field before they make judgments, you know?
I think people
Hey,
like
we're trying to
judge
give you a
your
chance.
on-field stuff, and like
Mhm.
they translate that to who you are off the field.
Yeah, I'm aggressive and intense on the field. I know that.
And like,
Okay.
and that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't stop that.
Yeah.
Hey,
this
thank
is
you,
awesome.
Alyssa,
Thank
for
you so
coming
much,
on.
Alyssa.
Oh,
Thank
we
you.
can both say at the same time. I
I
like
know,
that.
because we're both thankful. And that's great.
Thanks, Alyssa. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Danie, now's the
Hey.
band back together one more time.
All right. That was so nice talking to both of them. I think that both those players are iconic in Canada, and I know that they're well known in the States as well for their play. And so it's just kind of nice to be able to give them opportunity to kind of share a little bit about their journeys. Very different, obviously, very different players. But yeah, that was awesome.
Gabe has helped make it go over 1,500. So thanks to Gabe. And looks like we'll do 3 giveaway winner selections, a break mark prize pack. And after us is a documentary. I believe I've seen parts of this, if I'm not mistaken. It's from 2020. It's the Ring of Fire documentary, Slow Burn. So that's going to come after us. There's more giveaways coming. So, okay. Oh, we're getting winners on our year, Danie. JW4661. You've won a Breakmark prize pack. Congratulations. We got more coming. Aaron,
Just
no
Aaron.
last name. Many Aarons are going to claim
Madonna.
the prize.
Madonna, Prince, Aaron, Rob G in the house.
Yeah, he also
Final
wins.
prize pack. Yes. Thanks everybody for donating. It's a great cause. This is a great event. 24 hours of epic content. Really, really excited. What is next, Theo? You said, is it gaming next?
No, Slow Burn. The documentary Slow Burn.
Slow
I
burn
believe
next. But
that's
after that, then it's
I think that's for half an hour, and then it's Jeff Babbitt gaming. I will not be gaming with Jeff Babbitt, but I think you should watch that. That'd be sweet. And of course, Danie, you're doing Catch of the Year show, Family Feud. There's a Send It Back World Games final. Chuck, aka Charlie Eisenhood, doing a DJ set. So any final thoughts, Danie? The band is back together. Hopefully not one night only or one day only, but any other thoughts?
so here's the thing, audience. I told Theo that I had a bit more time on my hands because when I left the podcast, it was just too hard to schedule our schedules with time zones. And I said I had more time on my hands, and I said that you could have me back on whenever. And then he's like, haha, and then never have me back on. So if you do like having the band back together, you got to spam Theo because he just left me on red, basically. So he likes being the one man solo show. He doesn't like when I take all of his spotlight.
It's true. All the thunder is true. But yeah, we appreciate you all interacting in the chat. There was a lot of good stuff happening. So thank you for that. And yeah, go watch this Ring of Fire documentary and then Gaming with Jeff Babbitt. So we'll see you next time. Thanks.